If there's one little thing that I've learned from the hospitality industry over the past 3 decades where I've been working, it is the knack of building relationships and how to nurture and nourish them over the years. And it's benefited me immensely, manifold. And there are two examples I'm sharing here. When I was appointed as the market manager for marketing and public relations at for Deccan Aviation, India's first private heli charter service, and which is the mother company for Air Deccan, India's first budget airline. Now, I maintained a very strict discipline. I mean, at absolute religious discipline. Pre-lunch sessions at the office, doing all the paperwork, checking the mail. Post lunch, I would be in the market. I'd be meeting, calling on travel agents, tour operators, corporate, media. I mean, I was the first person to be appointed for this particular assignment. So I had to start it from zero. And Madras was not Bangalore, Madras was Chennai or Madras. Madras was not Bangalore or Delhi or Bombay. Or I was also dropping at film producers' offices. I knew that film producers needed the helicopters for shooting. So it was in these sort of calls that over a year I spent. I had met Lata, the editor of the Chennai-based office of. She was chief of bureau of Magna Publications. If I remember right, they were the group who brought out the elite magazines, the very glossy magazines, Savvy, Society, and the one good, excellent, very glossy film magazine also. So like what I did with each and every travel agent and tour operator, I would drop in them day in, day out. So I was building an innings from scratch. It was like opening an innings almost. I realize what is opening an innings in a test match. One day, Lata called up and says, Neil, I need Captain Gopinath's number. I said, sure. So I said, so then I asked, why do you want it for? She said, I want to interview him for Society. I said, sure. So then I took her number and I shared with Captain Gopinath and asked him to contact her and did the needful introductions. So they did an interview on the phone and etc. A week later, Lata calls and says, Neil, come to my office right away. I went there and I find she just beams and she shows me the Society magazine, cover page story of Captain Gopinath. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine this. Society magazine and the cover story of Mr. Captain Gopinath standing next to a Deccan helicopter. I mean, that was something brilliant, that photography. And there was a 4-page story on Captain Gopinath. And then I immediately called him from Lata's office. And I told him about this feature that had come out, a brilliant feature. He said, Neil, I'm going to Toulouse this night. Tonight, France, the headquarters of Airbus, to finalize. He was finalizing the leasing of the aircraft for launching Air Deccan. Says, so I need 10 copies. Tell Lata. She'll arrange it for you. So I was wondering how to reach him 10 copies by night, because he was leaving tonight. He answered it himself. He said, Neil, don't worry. Our plane, the Pilatus, fixed wing, is flying passengers. Is a chartered flight from Chennai to Bangalore. Send on it. I'll get it in the evening. But ensure you send it, right? It was the Army Commander's tone, no less. But I was on a purple patch. I mean, Society magazine, and that 1 year of being there, calling on her, yielded. And I thanked her profusely, and that was it. Relationship building. Another instances of there was this Punjabi gentleman. He had a very small, compact office on Monteith Road in Egmore. And I don't know whether he was more of a tour operator, if I remember right. I forget his name. I know he was a shortish gentleman, short in height. And I would call on him regularly, like all other tour operators and travel agents. I had to make Deccan's presence felt in the market. There's something called Deccan Aviation. Now heli charters are available in Madras. You don't have to go to Bangalore or to Bombay or to Delhi or something sort of thing. Contact us. So we had a helicopter at Chennai also, Chennai base. So I used to call him regularly. One day he called up and says, Neil, Aja yaar, jaldi aaj office. I said, Abhi? It was about 11 o'clock in the morning. He said, yes, Abhi. So I rushed. When I went there, he offered me tea, coffee, and everything. And they said, listen, Neil, I've been subcontracted for a helicopter charter. It's a big charter. And I thought of you. So thank you so much. Then he shared the details of the charter. So I asked him to mail it to me with a CC to my supervisor, Colonel Arun Rao, Sena Medal recipient. And he did that. And that was the biggest charter flight that Chennai had got, and Chennai had generated for itself. And I was instrumental in that. So Society magazine, this particular account, brilliant start. It was a nice way to begin your innings with Deccan. Very soon, and then the icing on the cake, this gentleman met Colonel Rao at a travel mart where we had a stall. He came to our stall, and then he tells Colonel Rao, he says, you know why I gave the account to Neil? I would have given it to other companies. Your costs were higher, Colonel Rao, than other companies. Yet, I gave it to Neil, this account. I only thought of Neil. Why? Because every Friday evening, I would tell my assistant at about 4 o'clock, be ready to pour 2 glasses of water and 2 cups of tea. You could set your watch. Friday evening, 4 o'clock, Neil will be there to meet me. Unless it's an exigency, he would call me up and apologize. It's for that reason, unfailingly, whether he didn't care whether I had business or not. He maintained that business. He says, I like to meet Neil because we had this banter in Madras, otherwise Chennai, where else could I banter with somebody in Punjabi, Delhi, in Punjabi and in Hindi. For that matter, even I admitted to him that even I did the same thing to banter with somebody in Hindi and Punjabi. I had a good time, so I got the account. So 2 instances of relationship maintenance and of creating relationship and then maintaining them. And after that, I still kept calling on him. I still kept calling on Lata. I kept sending her flowers. I sent her, being a lady, I sent her flowers. I sent her for New Year. I found out her birthday from her secretary, and I sent her. And she was ecstatic, is the word. So how did you know? I said, well, I got my sources, sort of thing. And for this gentleman's marriage anniversary, I sent him flowers for his wife, and he was also overjoyed. So that is a part of. And there's one thing that I learned from the hospitality industry is how to create a relationship and how to nurture it, how to sustain it. And you don't just meet a person and then get the benefit and then you drop him. No, you keep still meeting that person. It's a challenge, but I loved interacting with people. I loved going to meet, to create relationships and to maintain it. So it was never a challenge for me. But for all those who are listening, don't take it as a challenge. Love to do it because you never know which person is going to give you what business. You never ever know. No client is small or big in this business. Thank you very much. Embrace the twist to enjoy the turn.